This right here is the Vivo X100 Pro, a camera centric and a design centric phone. This has a lot of extreme imagination and the professional photography labeling all over the phone, and the design is inspired by the partial solar eclipse which happens few times in a decade, and the comparison is right over there. The camera module is huge. It is a camera centric phone, so it has the Zeiss collaboration, and you have a lot of Zeiss filters, and you have the T series coating, lens coating to avoid lens flare. And this is a 6.78-inch display powered by the Dimensity 9300. This phone has a 1-inch camera sensor. Basically it's bigger than the 15 Pro, and the camera sensor's job is to capture more light. The bigger the sensor, the more light they capture, more detailed the photo is. Especially in night, it captures more light so that the image is a bit bright. The elephant in the room is the triple 50 megapixel camera. The primary 1-inch sensor is a Sony IMX989 sensor. This has Vivo's own proprietary V3 chip for the camera and other tasks. In portrait mode, you have the typical focal length manner which a lot of photographers would like. This is mainly focused for the photographers, and this has the Zeiss collaboration, and you have a lot of Zeiss portrait filters. My personal favorite is the Cine Flare and the cinematic Zeiss filters. You could take a look at all the filters as shown in the screen. Vivo is trying to promote this phone as not as competition to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, but competition to the DSLR cameras. This phone has entirely changed my perspective of Chinese phones. I have a few photo samples. This is the Zeiss lens flare filter. The photo looks good, but this lens flare issue is a problem in all the iPhones. In this photo, the portrait blur has been applied to my shades, which is a mistake in the algorithm side. The photo looks good. This is the selfie photo. Obviously it has a 32 megapixel selfie camera. There are enough details in the photo, but the skin tones are close to natural, but it has a bit smoothened my face and not applying more sharpness to my face. I would obviously love to try it out in the outdoors instead of just being in the indoors with the portrait lens. And this has a lot of focal length which is helpful for DSLR photo shooters. The selfie camera is a bit good, I would say, not very bad. You can obviously record in 4K 60 fps, which was a concern in the previous mobiles, which was able to record in 1080p 60 fps, but now you can do it at 4K 60 fps. The photo video quality also looks good, by the way, and the same issue with the selfie camera. It has a bit smoothened my face out, not applying enough details to my face. That is a bit of a letdown when it comes to video. You have the high res shot, which is equal to the 50 megapixel shot. 4.3x zoom is also a 50 megapixel camera, so let's take a look. The photo has enough details. The red box is a bit clear. The tree is a bit messed up. The sharpening is moderate. By the way, the photo looks good, not bad. The 4.3x telephoto lens obviously performs good. You have a lot of camera modes like the long exposure mode, which is extremely useful for photographers at night time. In other phones you have to go to the pro mode and you have to do it manually. That's actually useful for aspiring photographers and professional photographers. And this is the landscape and architecture mode, which applies more focus to the center area and just blurring out the top and the bottom portion. This photo is, I don't know who is going to use this. And the cinematic portrait is basically the cinematic video. The video looks good, as I said previously, but you can only record in 1080p 60 fps in the cinematic video, which is a bit let down. While iPhones record at 4K 30 fps, you can maximum zoom up to 100x in this mobile. Now let's talk about the price. It sells for around 89,990, which is a bit cheaper comparing to the iPhone 15 Pro Max and the S24 Ultra, which are considered as the camera masters. But I would say this phone is very underrated for what it is offering. I would surely say that this phone is not meant for everybody, and this phone is meant for only smartphone photographers who wouldn't spend lakhs in photography equipments. For them, it's absolutely perfect.